show, new head coach at Duke, Mike Elko, with me on the show. Coach, how things over there in Durham, man?
Things are great, man. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you having me on.
Coach, you've been on DC for a long time in your career, man, different stops. Tell me about your process to prepare to become a head coach and how you prepared your mind and yours. We build your own program, build your own staff, man, and then you're doing it here at Duke, man.
Yeah, no, I've been a defensive coordinator at so many different places and so many different levels. I think it's kind of created this knowledge base of how programs run in so many different ways. And I've just been able to kind of sit back and learn and observe for years. And really the last 3-4 years, I've kind of really started to tighten up what I wanted to do and what I wanted my program to look like. And when this opportunity came along, it just was the right fit and the right time. And so I'll just kind of go out and put that vision in place and see where this thing goes.
Like you said, Coach, you're kind of in spring ball right now, Coach Elko. So tell me about how's it been going, kind of seeing what guys you have already, assess your talent base, don't you have to prove them over the summer here, and maybe go in the portal and find fits and sign kids who will fit your program going forward.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to get into spring ball because it's, the part of college coaching now is you get hired and, it's really 4 months before you ever get to watch them play football, right? And so you're trying to make all these decisions about what you want the defense to look like, what you want the offense to look like, but you're just kind of in a holding pattern until you get to spring ball. You can actually get out on the grass and watch them play football and see how much they can learn and see what they're good at and see what they're capable of doing. And so, it's a really big evaluation process. We try to get out and really put kids in a bunch of different situations and scenarios and get a real good pulse of who they are, what they're capable of. And, then obviously try to build the roster, build the game plans from there. And, always looking to supplement talent. That's just the natural part of college football nowadays.
And, Coach, like you said, man, player development is so important these days because that part of the game is kind of overlooked sometimes by some people. But, hey, the spring and summertime is where you really get your game intact and improve with your technique and what you do. Because I feel like come August for fall practice, you trying to game plan and scheme up. You don't got time to focus on player development. So talk about that piece of how it's so good to be here and see what you guys have and kind of just give guys different plans to get their bodies together or give them different film to watch to get them better on the field and go on the field and do it in drill work as well.
Yeah, no, it's a huge process, right? You're trying to get them stronger in the winter, and you're trying to get them a little bit mentally tougher, and then you get out here, and the spring becoming masters of your craft, right? And kind of really working on those fine-tuned techniques and the details of what you're trying to do, and then you got to give them a real detailed plan going into summer, right? And here's where you're doing a really good job, and here's what you got to do to keep doing a really good job at it. Here's where maybe you're coming up a little short, and here's some things you can do to improve and fix. And so that when you come back, we'll challenge the kids. Like when you come back to August camp, it's got to be practice 100, not practice 1, right? And we've got to put in a lot of work between the end of spring and the start of fall camp to get where we want to be.
No doubt, Coach. For you, man, it's going to be your ideal Blue Devil. What you want your program to be about, young men to come to your program? What you want them to represent, coming to Durham and represent that great university, Duke University out down there, man, in Durham?
Yeah, obviously, first I want him to have great character. I want him to be a guy that can really conduct himself in this campus and in this community the right way, a guy that can be a tremendous role model for young kids, because I think we lose sight of that sometimes as college athletes, just how many people have their eyes on us and how many people are truly looking up to us. And then obviously I want a kid who loves football and is dedicated to his craft and doing it at the highest level and wants to do it through our culture. And then a kid who understands Duke, what it can do for him academically and where it can take him, and is willing to compete in the classroom too against some elite students, because you got to deal with that element here at Duke as well. But we want a well-rounded kid who's really capable of doing all those things, and I think there's a lot of them out there that we got to go find.
And Coach, you got a great recruiting base in the Carolinas, Southeast, coming down here to Georgia as well. A lot of players here in Georgia, Florida. Talk about just being in a great place like Duke where you can go circle 500 miles or so and find all kinds of talent you want.
Yeah, no, this brand travels, man, and that's the thing that I love. And obviously, you got a lot of great high school football down there. So we'll always start in the Carolinas, but once we get out, that's one of the first stops down there in Gwinnett County and Cobb County, and you guys got a lot of good ball down there in the Atlanta area, and that's been a huge stomping ground for us in the past, and we want to continue for that to be the case.
No doubt. And like you said, Coach, like what's good about it, like you all in tech or similar where it's academics first. So, it's, and like I said, that tech and that Duke brand travels. And I tell young men, I have no problem saying this on the air. I tell guys who are from leave Georgia and become a man and come back better for it, because I left Georgia to Tennessee State and came back a better person from going that experience. I feel like you stay home in Georgia around your friends, it can kind of maybe too much going on. You can't focus on your work and football. I feel like you should go away, focus on your game, and come back better for it after you graduate with that degree. And if you play in the pros as well, even better.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a big 4 years for these kids, right? And if they handle these 4 years the right way, the sky is the limit. They walk out of here with a college degree and a shot to go play in the NFL. And sometimes when you get away a little bit, you create less distractions for yourself, right? There's less of your boys trying to pull you back, or less of your boys trying to come hang out with us this weekend, man. We got to, it's hard to say no to your boys, but it's easy to say I can't, right? I can't come back. You're 5 hours away. I can't do it. That's a much easier conversation. And so sometimes it allows kids to focus on what's important, right? Getting that degree and preparing themselves to be an NFL football player.
No doubt, Coach. You know what's good about up there in Duke as well? It's great spots for food, man. A great spot to get internships as well. Let's talk about that piece of it too. So going and being at Duke University for guys here in Atlanta and beyond, hey, internships, good jobs after football. Talk about that piece of it as well, Coach.
No, we're in the Research Triangle, right? It's a great community. Durham's a diverse city. We got a lot of different things we can do. Shout out to Nana Steak and Tobacco Road, two places that always take care of us from a food standpoint. But no, it's a great opportunity to just really enjoy your college experience. And, and then with what we're doing down here in the medical field in the Research Triangle, there's a lot of internship opportunities and places for kids to really expand themselves.
And Coach, I'm going to tell you this, my dad was a coach. He's 81 years old, still has a lot of guys in his life, man, who he talks to. He tells me, I'm his only kid. He says to me, I have a bunch of sons, son. I'm not just you. So tell me, what got you into wanting to be in coaching and impacting young men, Coach?
Yeah, I think there's a mentorship piece of it that you're really drawn to. I think you kind of get very comfortable with helping them elevate from 18 to 21, right? That's that final piece of becoming a man and being prepared for what life throws at them, and just kind of giving them perspective and ways to see life a little differently, where they can really kind of go out and achieve the things that they're capable of, and really elevate themselves in all areas of their life to the next step. And that's a huge piece of what we want to do. What we want to do with our program, and what I want to do as a coach is kind of be a resource for these guys, because I've seen it. And we tell them all the time, I've been 21, you've never been 44. So I can tell you what life is going to look like a couple years from now.
You got there right. It's funny for me, Coach. Guys I played with Tennessee State, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, Anthony Levine played with the Ravens. Like the lessons that we had then still stay with me today. Like those coaches told us, like, it's still like, yeah, coach said this. So having an impactful coach who's like your mentor, because being a coach is a lot of different hats. You get your brother, sometimes father, mentor, counselor. You're all these hats at one time for these young men. And what you all say to us as young men, like still me, I'm 35 years old. It's still with me today.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is. You have an impact on kids' lives, and you can't ever lose sight of that. At the end of the day, the first thing a coach is an educator. Right. And he's an educator, and he's in the position to impact young men. And that's something we always got to take seriously. We'll treat everybody in this program like our own son, and we'll make sure that they're treated the right way and they're developed the right way. Because I think it's both, right? You would never want a kid to come in this program and be treated wrong, and you would never want a kid in this program to not be held accountable to do the things he was raised to do. And so we try to get both of those and balance those scales.
And Coach, for you, man, in your career, personally, professionally, who have been some guys who helped you along your way in your journey in becoming a coach, and may have been the head man at Duke? So who some guys who really helped you out and kind of gave you that bug and kind of helped mold you in your professional career and your journey?
Yeah. It started in college. I had two guys that I played for in college. Al Bagnoli, who's the head coach at Columbia now, and Ray Priori, who's the head coach at Penn. And those guys really had an influence on my life. And then, then as you get into coaching, obviously Dave Clawson at Wake Forest played a huge role. He was very instrumental in my development, and then always got a lot of appreciation for what Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher did, kind of taking a chance on a guy who hadn't been at that level before, and giving him opportunity to take his skills and shine. And so, that's probably the group that I hold the tightest.
And final one for you, coaches. When coming down to recruit, man, what's your favorite spot to eat here when you come down here to recruit, man?
Oh, gosh, that's a good one. I'm blanking on the name of it. What's my spot downtown with the orange juice?
The Varsity?
The Varsity. Yeah, the Varsity. That's my spot. That's where I don't get down into the city much. When I get down to the city, that's my spot, the Varsity.
Now, Coach, do you all play here next year against Tech, or the Tech comes to you all?
We do. No, we're down there. We play at Tech.
I know it's going to be a busy trip, but if you got some time, man, I'll take you out to eat that Friday night if you have some time. I would do that.
You got to hook me up with some spots, because I know you didn't like that choice. You got to give me some good.
No, the Varsity's cool. Hey, I eat there too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Boston's cool. I got a lot for you, Cole. I got seafood for you, Italian pizza, whatever. Whatever hotel you stay, I can make sure you're taken care of, Coach.
There you go. You can tell I don't miss the meal, so that'll be good.
That's why I got you, man. Hey, whenever y'all come to town, man, I'll take care of all my guests when they come to Atlanta. A lot of y'all come to recruit and play, so I make sure when you come to town, I take good care of you all.
Appreciate you.
Coach, it was fun catching with you, man. It was fun, man. We'll do this again real soon. I'll be cheering for you guys, man. I'll be following your program, and I'll look to talk to you more as you be here at Duke, man, and we'll do this more often, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on. Anytime you want to have me, I'd love to be on with you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
All right.